Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emmanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt the shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emmanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emmanuel Rose, and today I'm joined by Keith Perhac, founder of Segmetrics. Keith brings the perspective of both a marketer and a developer, which is a valuable combination when the conversation turns to attribution, reporting, and revenue clarity. After running a successful marketing agency, Keith saw firsthand how much time teams lost trying to make sense of fragmented data and limited reporting tools. In 2015, he launched Segmetrics to help marketers connect campaign activity to actual revenue. Keith, what a refreshing concept.
Accuracy. Who would have thought it's important?
Oh, we were doing so good too until GEO came onto the scene.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, really, thanks for taking some time to.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, so you've been looking at this kind of reporting and attribution for almost a decade now, probably longer since
yeah.
I mean, you're doing agency work before that. So tell me about what you got going in Segmetrics and what we should be concerned about as marketers right now.
I think there's a lot of things. And so what we got going in Segmetrics is what we've kind of been espousing since the agency days, which is it's not enough to just know where people came from or where your leads came from, right? It's not enough to know who bought, right? You really need to see that full customer journey. You need to know, where did people come from? Who are they? What are they interested in? And how much money is that worth in the long term? And that really comes into marketing, I believe, is applied psychology, right? You have to understand the people on your list, the people coming to your site. You have to understand what they want, what their objections are. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to market to them effectively and turn them into customers and turn those customers into brand enthusiasts. It's really about understanding. It's not just a numbers game, right? So that's what we've kind of pulled in with all the stuff. When you look at Google Analytics, and it's like, oh, here's where people came from and they bounced off. Cool. Did they make money? Who are they? Are they copywriters, designers? We know nothing about these people other than what they did on the website. So we want to go deeper than that and kind of follow the person through that whole funnel.
So how do you do that? Is it a piece of code I got to put on my website and into my shopping cart, or what's the process?
So we hook into essentially the website. So you do install a pixel, and then we hook in directly to your CRM, to Stripe, to Facebook, to Kajabi, ActiveCampaign, whatever you're using, right? All the tools. And what we're doing is we're normalizing the data. And what that means, it's a technical term for if someone comes in and they're anonymous, and then they fill out a form and we know they're Bob, okay, we match that click with Bob in your CRM. And then Bob's going to buy something later. And Bob, we're going to connect it to the person in Stripe. And we're going to say, okay, this person who we're seeing go through this whole thing is Bob. And then we learn everything about Bob, right? So Bob fills out a little form that says, oh, I'm a copywriter. Well, now we know Bob's a copywriter. Then we see that Bob has bought 7 different products over the last year. Well, Bob's value is now worth $5,000. So now we start to see, okay, how many other copywriters do we have and how much are they worth on average? Where did those copywriters come from? They came in from Reddit. Okay, so how much is a Reddit user generally worth? Is a copywriter worth more or less than your average Reddit user, right? So you get to pick and choose all this data because you're not looking at an abstract number of Reddit users versus revenue. You're looking at Reddit users and connecting an actual dollar value to each one who came in.
Yeah, that's cool. And
it's fascinating. I love it.
I love that you're connecting up the variety of data sources. So we're actually finally getting down to the minutia of one person and where they came from and what their lifetime value is, and bring it in from all the different sources.
Exactly, because that's at the end of the day, that's the only way that you're going to be able to understand the people. And it's about the money at the end, but it's not about the money at the end. It's about the types of people that you are talking to, and are you connecting with them? And you were talking before we jumped on about email and email performance. It's like, does this email work well for copywriters versus designers? Right. Is this webinar good for copywriters versus designers? Who is responding to my messaging in a good or bad way?
Yeah, and that is, it's not all about the money, and I think we lose sight of that sometimes in this the spray and pray model of the marketing that we have, and it's just gotten worse since the AI has accentuated things. And now a lot of the marketing people have forgotten they're actually talking to human beings, not just a wallet.
Can I go off on a short rant real quick? Sure. I blame Facebook ads, and not Facebook ads in specific, but like online ads, because like you said, I've been doing this a long time, been doing this since 2010, working with coaches, creators, and everything was affiliate based. People weren't running ads. They were meeting with other affiliates. We were talking, we were building out networks, we were doing sales and launches together, and everyone was working together to support each other and build more. And now, when you're doing that, you really think about the people on those lists. What type of people do I have on my list? What people does Evan Pagan have on his list? Who are we talking to? And now that it's all ads, it's like, I spent $10,000, I got $11,000 back, so I'm up. Cool. And it's like, but who are the people? Who are they? Like,
well, and it does. I mean, there is the next level problem that we have, which is that it will again not be people; it will be AI agents that will be doing the shopping and making the buying decisions eventually, right? Because I've put in my 10 parameters for the new messenger bag I need, and then I send my agent out and give it its credit card, and it goes and orders my bag for me. So what do you think? I mean, what's your vision of how we're going to get closer to the person when we're one step away from the person?
I think it's all going to be, I think there's two levels to it. So I think that one, we're going to start writing copy for agents and for AI. And I think we already have. You look at AEO, you look at all the like AI search results and things like that. I think we're getting towards that point. I actually had one, I was looking for influencers, like an influencer management platform is what I was looking for. Yeah. And I asked Claude, because that's how I do a lot of my research, and it recommended this site to me. I was like, cool. I go to the site, some of the customer names are written wrong, and like there's typos and things. I'm like, what is going on with it? And so I asked Claude, I said, this looks really sketch. Why did you recommend this to me? And they're like, oh, this site is really good at AEO. It's checking all the boxes I look for when I am trying to decide if a site is legit or not. And it's like, I looked at it again, and you're right. It's totally a scam. I'm like, so it's got to get better before it gets worse. So that's one thing.
We might end up with kind of like in the old days, we used to have to build almost a separate mobile site for mobile web. And I think we're going to have to go back to that, where we have like a back end that is for the agents and the front end that is for the humans in this transition.
It's interesting. If you go to like stripe.com, all of their pages have a markdown AI version of them. Yeah. So they're already doing that, where it's like, okay, if you're an agent, go straight to this and answer those questions. But you're right, because, and I had one more item on that, which is not only because we don't trust the AIs yet fully, right? Like,
and nor should we.
Nor should we. But it gave me 6 recommendations, and I went and checked them. But you know who we're always going to trust, I think, to a degree, is people. And so we're always going to need tastemakers. We're always going to need people who go through all this AI slop and all this crap. We have so much information now that we need people to come in and break it down for us, people that we trust, right? And I relate this to Amazon. So Amazon back in the day had like just normal products. Now it's a marketplace, right? You have everything. You have 8,000 toasters. And so how do you make a decision on that? Well, you go to Wirecutter. You go to a YouTube person that you follow, right? There are tastemakers and consolidators that are looking at all the stuff, getting rid of all the crap and saying, this is the top 3 or 5 of what I recommend, and here's why. And that's going to be now important for knowledge, because we now have the same thing. We have a marketplace of knowledge. We have all the knowledge a Claude or AI chat away, but we need someone or something to distill it into reality versus not. So I think people are going to become more important in this new AI ecosystem.
Definitely agree that subject matter experts will become more important. And right, where you actually have the capacity to distill and, like you're saying, make recommendations. And my big thing about Amazon is that, ironically, Perplexity or even just the Google search is a better search engine for Amazon than the Amazon search bar.
Oh, so bad.
It just makes me so crazy how they could be so successful and yet not. It's just, they're just always like shilling for whoever's paying for ads is what it feels like.
It doesn't behoove them to give the best product. Because I mean, you can return it, but then it just goes on a pallet to be sold. Like, they're not losing any money from people buying crap stuff. Right. Like, they don't have the same problem as like Costco. Costco sells one of each product, and they make sure that they stand by that product because they're on the hook. Amazon, they just don't care.
Yeah.
So
no,
it's a different bunch.
They actually make it up on volume.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The old joke, right? The old joke. Every sale, but make it up in volume.
Yep. And it works on for them. So
yeah. Well, talk to me a little bit about nuts and bolts, how you're connecting all these disparate data sources that may or may not have APIs. So how are you bringing all that into one platform?
A lot of hard work. So it is, I think, simultaneous. If you were to ask me again, would you do, because we have 150 integrations, I believe, at this point, and we normalize all of them. So when you see like something like a data box or something like that, or even like Looker Studio, it's just putting the numbers next to each other, right? So it's not doing any normalization. It's like you got 3,000 visits from Google, you got 600 sales from Stripe on the dashboard together. But what we're doing is actually connecting them. And so I would say 60 to 70% of our development time is around building out integrations, fixing integrations, because marketing tools just love changing stuff and not telling you. Constantly. It's horrible. If I was to do it again, I might not do it. But since we're already in the boat, we might as well be the best one that we possibly could. And that's what it is. Really, like, we have about 7 different triggers that we look at in each system of connecting people from one system to another. So we're looking at like IP address, we're looking at fingerprinting, we're looking at browsers, we're looking at email addresses and phone numbers and names and all this stuff, and making sure that everyone connects to a person, and that if we can't detect it, at least hey, this may be the same person, but probably isn't, like with a confidence score and stuff. So but it's, at the end of the day, you have to, because I think everyone has gone through the experience of, you log into Facebook ads and it's like, oh, you got 50 new sales today. And then you log into Google and it's like, oh, you got 30 new sales today from Google.
I only have 63 on the books. How's that possible?
Right, you only have 60. Or worse, you only have 20 on the books. And you're like, where is this coming from? And so they're opaque, right? They're a black box. You can't see what's inside them. And one of the big things for us is whenever you're looking at a number, you want to be able to see every single person who's in that number. If we say 5 sales, here's 5 email addresses. You want to see how much you made, here's every single order that came through. So
that's amazing. And where do you sit, and what's the company ethic on then taking those records and pushing them somewhere else to a like product line?
So our big thing is you control your data. We've never, we don't push to any third parties. Everything is owned by you. You can download your data anytime, because we were back in the day, and I think still it's gotten worse, where you didn't own your data. You put all your information in the system. And it's like, well, I want to move over to this. And it's like, no. No. We do push back to like Facebook ads and stuff if you set that up. So we're pushing back to your account. We're doing conversion API stuff and that kind of stuff, because you want your ads to get better. But as far as like data sharing and anything, no. And believe me, we get a lot of calls about that.
I mean, If you got somebody who just has bought a Dodge Ram truck, you want to be able to sell them insurance, right?
Yep, exactly. But yeah, no, we were a small agency. We had 12 people. We work with creators and coaches, and the number one thing when you're working with people and companies that size is you have to be 100% transparent. And
100%.
again, this isn't about the money. It's about the people. It's about helping people, and it's about believing that marketing is important and people should have this data. So.
Yeah. So those are your target industries, but what does your ICP look like?
So the ICP, So the ICP has changed over the years. We made some mistakes, especially 10 years ago, because we thought, we were working with creators, big creators like Ramit Sethi, Eben Pagan, all that, and we were like, Eben Pagan is going to want to use this software, and he logged in once, I think, but his team continued to use it for many years, and that was our first aha moment where it's not about the influencer or the creator or the whoever, right? It's not about the company or the founder. It's about the marketing team who has to report to them. It's about the agency who works with that team, and making it easy as possible to explain to the stakeholders that this is why we're doing this, and this is what we did, and this is why we did it, right? This is the result of all that effort. When you're talking to the founder and you're like, yeah, we spent 3 months on this project and it cost you $30,000, $100,000, and what were the results? We don't know. That's not a great look. So being able to say, here's the results, here's what we're getting out of it, and here's what we're doing next is a huge benefit.
Love it. And then what does it look like in terms of an average spend for a client for you, and what's the lifetime value for you, roughly?
Lifetime value, I mean, it depends, because we've got small people, we've got large people. I think our average, 10 to 30K, I think, over lifetime, because once people start using it, they just keep using it. It's invaluable. The hardest part is getting people to start. Honestly, so, we look at churn and we look at stuff like that. Once you get past the 60-day mark, you're probably going to stay on for at least 2 years, is what we see. It's really getting people everyone wants to be data oriented. And it's like trying to exercise, go to the gym every week, right? You know you need to do it. You really want to do it. You go 2 to 3 times, and then you haven't gone in 8 months. And so I feel like data is the same to a degree. Unless everyone needs it, we try to make it easy. But some people, founders especially, we got a lot going on. And logging in every day looking.
Do you have a few more minutes, Keith?
I'm good with you are, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think what we've built in with my group, Strategic E-Marketing, is this idea that where we build the data structure and we publish the data, and then we reference the data in our agents to then say, benchmark, here's a list of 10 things you should be doing differently, approve, disprove, changes in the process or in the creative, and then push that back into Asana as a task, right? So talk to me a little bit about that process and how I might make that better.
Yeah, so that's what we've kind of built for our AI agents as well. And we've kind of decided that all of our AI agents, all of the AI functionality goes through an MCP server or a CLI or something like that, essentially because, like you're saying, you want to connect it to everything else. And so what our AI agent is giving is a couple of things. So one, it is giving you that normalization, right? So you're able to track, you're able to normalize all the data. Every person has a row. And then we've developed a language for querying that data. And so normally if you tell an AI, hey, find me everyone who is a copywriter, it will say, well, here's the column name. And then I need to use the word copywriter, and I need to query the word copywriter. I'm going to write a query, and I'm going to download it. And this is a huge pain in the butt. So I'm just going to take the first 5 and tell you that it's 5 people.
Right.
So, which we actually had happen a couple of times.
This is a true story.
This is a true story. And so we created a language for AI to be able to easily say, I want copywriters, and it knows it's like industry equals copywriter. And then we do all the processing on the back end and give the results. And so it doesn't have to think about how to do anything. It doesn't have to use those tokens. It doesn't have to use its context window figuring out how to do something because we've already told it how to do it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And then yeah.
Oh no, so yeah, I think it's an important point that just building a data lake is only a third of the process in all of this, right? You got to have good reporting that makes sense, that's connected to KPIs. And for us as marketing people, we usually stop at MQLs, but we really should be stopping at sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we really should be digging into what it takes to make sales, which you fulfill that challenge. And then how do we improve the marginal spend per client in order to get a better value for each marketing dollar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have to tie it back to sale because MQLs are great, but I feel like a lot of us marketers limit ourselves to what we're measuring based on the tools. And if you don't have a tool that can measure all that way, then you give up and you don't measure that far.
Yeah.
Right. But if you can measure it, not just to a purchase, but to multiple purchases over time and account value and person value and lifetime value, then it's a whole different ballgame. And you get to do a whole lot of cool things with your marketing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then, so it sounds like you're focused on primarily on internet type sales. Is that where you're really doing the best? Is it e-commerce?
No, e-com is interesting. I think e-com has a lot of top of funnel stuff that we do and we do well, but the number one place that people find value with Segmetrics is anything with a long nurture sequence. So anything where you have an opt-in and then they're emailed, or you have a sales process. And the reason is because a lot of the ad tracking platforms will track over 7 days, right? They'll figure out e-com. They won't figure out if someone opts in and then takes 3 weeks to buy or a month to buy. And that's the power that we're able to do and see inside that funnel of what emails are they clicking on, what tags are being applied, what are the properties like copywriter or whatever, what are the people values on that nurture sequence. And that I think is the USP of where we play.
Oh, that's cool. No, I love it. And then what do you got on your kind of 90-day roadmap, product roadmap? What are you getting ready to roll out?
Oh man, we're going all in on the MCP and the AI, kind of that AI engine. So I think as far as like features, we're pretty much where we want to be. It's a refinement of those. And it is honestly just lots of content, just really teaching people about this idea of that engine for marketing agents. And so that's what we're kind of pushing for right now.
And then is it Claude or Codex that you're focused on right now, and how agnostic have you built your platform?
We're fully agnostic, so we do everything. I am mainly Claude, although, man, I'm being tempted by Codex recently, and I think it's Claude is, man, I can get into that, but yeah. And we use Perplexity. There's so many custom-made things that we're dealing with, but honestly, the two main coding ones that we're looking at, Claude and Codex right now, and I think it's just a day in, day out fight between the two.
Which is interesting. I mean, my X feed is totally hammered by guys who are talking about the Grok bots and all that. So I'm going to spend September building out some Grok bots and using Grok a little bit more for coding, and see if it has the chops, and at the very least build some tools that might help around the house kind of thing.
Yeah. I also want to play with Quen a little bit more. I started playing with it last month and it was good but slow. So I think I'm going to rent a big old graphics card and try that out some more.
I love it. Well, there's definitely room in the AI market for an SME to go and do all these reviews and target activities and LLMs and then build a platform. And I've messed around with this where I built an interface that then could just hook into each LLM depending on what I wanted to use it for. I just don't have the desire to build that out correctly, but somebody needs to do that.
I'm sure there are 20 people, 30, 100 people doing it. The problem is, are they going to do it for the rest of us? Right? Because I'm in the same boat. It's like, I would love to do that. Do I have the time, energy, or effort to? No,
it's a great idea, and somebody's going to make a lot of money doing it.
Yep. It's not going to be me though.
Yeah.
I got other things to do.
Well, that's cool. So then you're setting up Segmetrics to be able to be accessed by my Claude code so that I can easily set up a dashboard for clients, for instance.
Yep, already is. Yeah, you can just connect it right in, start asking questions, tell it to build out dashboards, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well, I love what you're doing, and I appreciate your contribution to marketing, because it fills a really big gap, and I love it. Love the work.
Yeah, thanks. Marketing is my passion. I've been doing it for longer than I care to admit at this point, and just want to keep on doing it.
All right. Well, I'm going to hit you up again in a few months, maybe first part of the year. We'll see what else you're doing.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on. This has been great.
All right. Great talk. Thanks, Keith.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.